Good evening and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. I'm your host, Marty Ford. If you are new tonight and already in the chat, I just want to say welcome. I'm glad you're here on a Tuesday to join us. What we do on Tuesdays is we talk slot cars, and everything's on the table when it comes to slot cars. So if you have questions, make sure you put them in the chat. There are lots of people in the chat every week that have a vast ton of knowledge and are willing to help people. So don't be afraid. It's a safe place, the chat, to ask questions, and we want to help you get answers. So we like to see people succeed. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. And I don't think I set up the track cam. Yeah, I probably need to get that set up right. There we go. You can see the track. No laps being run on it yet, but here we go. Not tonight, but maybe later. I don't know. We'll see. I have some cars I want to share this week, and we'll get into that. I have a handful of fast lap cars that I'm not sure I've shared on the stream yet, mainly because I've been fighting some issues with my oval track. I'm having problems with the lap counter, and I've not been able to record any of the fast lap challenges because when I loaded it up, the version of fast laps is expired on both of my tracks right now. So I need to send Patrick a message and see if I can't get an extension on a trial code. But very soon, I will say this: I won't share all of the details because I don't know all the details yet. But I can tell you that Fast Laps is very, very close. It's very close. I got a great message from Patrick last night, and got to have a couple conversations with him. But I don't know if he is in the chat yet. But if he is, I'll let him make any announcements if that's where he's headed. But I do know that we're getting close, and I know a lot of people have asked about fast laps. I think Vin is one that has really wanted to try it and hasn't been able to yet. I think the time is very near, and potentially, potentially, I might be able to save you a little bit of money with a coupon or code or something. So we'll see. That's in the future, down the road. No official announcement, but just know that there is information coming shortly. Good evening, Chris. Glad you're here. Mr. Albright was tweaking on a car and almost lost track of time. Good evening, everyone. Glad you're here. Marty is my only release. Tax day. I notice it's kind of hard to read the text with the color of my shirt. Sorry about that, guys. White Wolf is in the house. Good evening. It is a hat night, no suit, rocking the Colorado State hoodie. It is cold. Cold front moved into Ohio today, and a lot of wind, and it is really chilly. Good evening, Jeff. Mr. Frater, welcome. Yeah, a tough day in Chillicothe today. Still proud of my city, but the paper mill that is right just 2 blocks from my house, that's been here for over 100 years, announced that in 45 days they are closing that facility. And that impacts about 800 people in our community. I'm not sure that all 800 employees, or approximately 800 employees, live in Chillicothe or Ross County, but a significant portion of them do. And I've had family members that have worked and retired from, it was originally Mead Paper, and now the company is called Pixel, and it's just a sad day. Something that's been such a cornerstone of our community, closing that factory. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess 45 days, a lot of things can happen. Maybe somebody swoops in and buys the plant. I don't know. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but that's happened before. So we'll see what happens. But man, I just feel for my friends that have worked there for a long time, and it'll be interesting to see what happens here locally. It will make an impact for sure, but we've survived other closures. We'll survive this one too. So just hate to see it. Who else? Ernest is in the house. Welcome. Jerry is in the house, and I want to show while he's on screen. He sent this. We got this last week. I got to open it up this weekend and ran some laps, and this is a great little runner. Take a look at that chassis. Some nice solder work there. It's modified, and it gets it around the track really, really good. It's a lot of fun to drive. So, Jerry, well done. I think he said he had submitted this to the Home Racing World proxy, and maybe it didn't run so well, so he got it home and did some more tuning. And whatever you did good, because it's running great. So well done. It is smooth and quiet and really a joy to drive. Don't have any lap times yet because I got to get my timer fixed. But yeah, so thanks for sending that in, Jerry. Appreciate it. And who else? Who else do we have? I'll look for questions. Jim, great video on the modern Trans Am. I've been running a bunch of laps with this one that George sent me, and it's I'm going to drop it back in the mail tomorrow with a bunch of other stuff that I have of George's. I've got a box that goes out to him, and I got a box that needs to go out to Dave, Dave Gorley, and I almost messed that up, Dave. But I need to get back to them, and somebody, I'm trying to think, Peter maybe, asked about a close-up of the magnetic wing, and George did a nice job. Where I was going with that is Jim released a nice little announcement video talking about the Trans Am cars today. Well done, Jim. I'm sure those guys appreciate the coverage, and sounds like you might have one headed your way, and that'll be great. Can't wait to see you run some laps and get your opinion on it. I think the guys are doing a great job, and the cars look really, really well. And this is something different. It's a class that's not out there, so I'm really excited about it. But I put out another video this past week about this car, and I ended up being able to run I was running 8.4s with the other car, with this car. And I was running 8.4s, and I'm running almost a whole second faster with this car, just because of setup and getting the center of gravity a little lower. And I know that this still weighs 122 grams, and I know that that George is being able to get that down to like 105 grams, which is right there with the Revo slot. And so that's going to be gigantic for that car. So this runs great. The latest version is going to be fantastic. I really do think that will be a great place to be with this car in a weight standpoint. and I think it'll perform really, really well. So, George, thanks for sending this out to me. There's the magnetic wing. And Peter, I think you asked about the magnetic wing. I will take a close-up picture of that and send it out before I drop this in the mail back to George. So, but well done, guys. These are fun cars. Starting to see a few people working on some out there. I've got a couple projects sitting over here that I'm working on from George and Dave and Harry. And those are the dirt cars. So I need to do some paint work and working on those. So that's pretty exciting. So, but Mike, a Little Shop of Hobbies, is in the house. Glad you're here. Chris, good to have you, man. Hey, Hank, thanks for being here. John Tucci. Every week, guys, you guys show up, and I just appreciate it. Pistol Pete. He needs an intro like Johnny Carson. Here's Marty. Ed McMahon. KR Bridges. Greetings from Tailspin. KR, I actually had, I went for a little bit of walk, and I had my Tailspin beanie on, keeping my ears warm because it's really windy. And I will finish my walk after the live stream. I've been trying to get, my 10,000 steps in each day, and been doing some working out and trying to work on my health a little bit. Let's see, who else we have? Jeff G. Slightly Mad is in the house. Hey, Slightly Mad. Kevin Jones, what's up? Good to have you. Todd Metal. What's up, bro? Thanks for joining, man. Always appreciate it when you're here. Gary. Greg. The usual suspects are in the house. Hey, Mark. My brother Dusty is here. A big welcome to the whole gang. Yeah, man. Good to have everybody. Colorado State. That's right. Shout out to my new friend and slot car buddy, Kevin Sharp at Racetrack Scenics. The track has taken a positive new direction, and we have stories. Can't thank Kevin enough. Hank, congratulations on the track, man. Glad to see it. Yeah, Kevin's building some great stuff. Hey, Brett. Finally made it back. Good to have you back, man. Thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. Harry is in the house. Yep, Dusty, I've got a list with Slot Car Corner built too. It's getting pretty big. Hey, Robert. Yeah, we got a lot of people. James. JD Vance dropped the trophy. If you dropped the OSU Slot Car. I saw that. Of course he did. Way to go, VP. Daniel. Good evening. Daniel brought it up first. Big shout out to Team Grizzly for the outstanding Michigan 24 race. I was going to talk a little bit about that tonight. And we'll go ahead and jump in. So I'll get to everybody else. I try to do the shout outs. It's always good to thank everybody for being in the chat. I appreciate all of you. So I'll try not to miss anybody, but let's talk about this. Daniel, since Daniel brought it up. This weekend, I was planning to go to the Michigan 24. And I need to apologize to Josh and Greg and Steve and those guys again because I had something come up. I lead worship at my church. And another thing that I do is I lead worship for a lot of youth events. And there was a youth event this weekend that needed a worship leader. And so felt like that's kind of what I needed to do. And I will tell you that the weekend went amazing. I led a couple times on Saturday and once on Sunday afternoon, but all the other time of the weekend, I was watching the live stream supporting my team. But great job, guys. Greg and Josh and Andy and Steve. Gosh, am I missing anybody? Oh, Rob, who now can comment. So I can't wait to see what Rob's got to say in the chat tonight. Josh helped him get on YouTube so he can give me a hard time in the chat. But Rob did an awesome job. The team did a great job. Had a great game plan. They were flexible as the race came to them. they made changes and really, I think, learned how to drive a Michigan 24 race. And shout out to Butch, who was there in spirit watching from on the live stream, and I'm sure that he was blowing up Greg's phone most of the weekend. And I'm sure he wished he was there racing, but just a shout out to Butch. Get better, buddy. We're rooting for you, man. But yeah, great job, guys. The Team Grizzly, they had a great car. It was obvious that it was fast, but it was mechanically was fantastic. They had zero issues with the car. The only time it came off the track in the 24 hours was really to clean the tires, and I think they had maybe a wire issue, just a quick repair, and they were back on the track. And they won by close to 200 laps, 160, 180, somewhere in there. I don't know what the final tally was, but yeah, it was just an impressive win. They did a great job. Greg has been chasing this for 10 years, and I'm proud of him. He builds a great car. I've driven a couple of cars. I've broken some of his cars, and somehow he still trusts me to get behind the trigger of a car. But I raced a car of his in an endurance race last year. No, it was the year before. And I broke it, and it's kind of my running joke. Anytime they want to test a car, all they have to do is give it to me for about 15 minutes, and I'll figure out a way to break it. But I think that it may have saved them because Greg was going down this path using a certain pod and chassis setup, and the motor pod wasn't strong enough. And it wasn't just me. He had a couple other failures and moved away from that and went another direction. And, man, just built a fast, solid car, smooth. I know Steve, I think they ended up using one Steve originally built, and then Greg did some tweaking. And man, by the time they were done, they had lots of great choices. They had probably, 5 or 6 cars that they could have run in that race and probably did the same thing. But Greg said that he's going to do a breakdown video, so I'm excited about that, and I'll share that on the channel. And then next week, we're going to have the team on, the live stream. Had some things that they couldn't. We were going to do that tonight, but Greg has a sick kid, and he's home playing dad and doing what he should be doing, taking care of the family. And but next Tuesday, we're going to have at least Greg and Josh on, Steve on, trying to talk Rob into jumping in, and who knows, maybe we get Andy on. I doubt it, but we we'll get those guys on, get Rob on now that he knows how to use YouTube, and get have a conversation with them and let them tell us a little bit about how the race went. But if you watch the live stream, hope you'll enjoy that. Greg took care of that live stream and made that happen between he and Josh and Corey, I think. So shout out to Corey, raced with Cloverleaf. But yeah, thanks for providing the live stream. If I was there, I would have done some commentary during the live stream. I think that was probably the only thing that's missing from that live stream. I thought the coverage was good. Another camera angle would always help, but when it's kind of on autopilot, that's hard to do. You end up missing things, and yeah, it just I thought it went great. It was a fun watch, and they had about 25 people most of the time watching, and every time I checked in, it was good to see that the Grizzlies, the guys were leading the race. So understanding some of that, how that works though, is there were 6 teams and it's a 5-lane track, so there was always one team that was sitting out, and because of that, in a round robin format, the leaderboard is kind of jumbled because you always have a team that's sitting out, not getting laps, while other teams are getting laps. And so only every 6th, at the end of each 6th heat, so 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, were the lap counts accurate from a leaderboard standpoint. And so I think that was confusing for some people. But, man, what a great race. It just was a lot of fun, and it was great to see those guys take home the win. So I'm proud of them. So good work, guys. So, Daniel, thanks for bringing that up. And then we'll talk a lot more about next week. So it's a Secret Weber is in the house. 35 Salty is in the house. Brad Slot Car Circuit is in the house. Working on the track. I saw your video from this week, Brad. Well done, man. Big Dog Bro, greetings from near Hell, Michigan. First time I made it on in time. Well, glad you're here. Building an 81-foot 4-lane MDA bank turns track. Nice. That'll be great. Hopefully you can post some pictures so we can watch the progress of the track. Always enjoy that. Kurt was the other one. I don't want to leave Kurt out off the team. Kurt had a great first stint, man. When the race started, he jumped out to, man, I don't know, 20 laps on the field. Like, I don't know, it was good. He had a great first stint and really just set that team up for the rest of the 24 hours. So Kurt, well done. Glad you were there. Yep. Well done, Kurt. I wasn't going to leave you out. Marty needs to sing for us. That's funny. Adventures, welcome. There you go. And then shout out, go follow Blue Water Slot Car Racing. John Erdman, he did a lot of live coverage and went around and interviewed people, and you can go check some of that out. And that was great stuff. So, John, well done. So if you want to see some of that, check out John's channel. I think he was posting some of that on Facebook as well. But great coverage, man. But, yep, well done, Kurt. Yep, as Daryl says, well done. That's funny. I'm getting text messages on my computer, which I usually turn that off. Hey, Bill. Thanks for joining. Steve, good to have you. Josh. Already not mad, just disappointed. Man, I know. I was disappointed too, Josh. We've talked about it. You know I wanted to be there. But man, when I have an opportunity to do that, I know what I'm called to do in my life. And, as much as I love slot cars, that what I did this past weekend it's my calling, man. And it's hard to explain to you guys unless you were there. Then you would probably understand that was kind of my wheelhouse. About 150 kids or more in a room, high school and college age kids, and it's kind of what I live to do. So when they needed help, I was there. I knew what I needed to do, but I hated missing. So next year, I hope it's not on the same weekend, because they asked me to do this every year, and thought it was got out of it because of the race. And anyway, I didn't make it. So, yep, I was disappointed too, Josh. Thanks, though, man. I appreciate you. Hey, Mark. Thanks for joining, man. Good to be here. Glad you're here. Then I'm hoping to have some good news very soon about fast laps, man. I know I've said that before, but Patrick sent me a message last night, and there were some things that he had to do with the software so that he's able to actually sell it. Like finish the website, create a store. On the back end of software, you have to be able to serialize and then you have to be able to automate the serialization. So when somebody buys a code online, that they immediately get the serial number so that they can put that in and activate the software. So there's a lot of back end stuff that he's been working on. In the message he sent me last night, Patrick, I hope I'm not oversharing. I apologize if I am, but in the message he sent me last night, he's like, he said, I would rather be working on features, but he can't launch the app without doing these things. So this is what he's been working on over the last couple of months, and it sounds like he's really, really close. Hey, Scott. Good to have you, man. Welcome. It's a secret Weber. They make carbonless paper. They used to make all of the paper for Hallmark cards, and they make a bunch of coated paper too. I don't know what all kinds of paper, but Mead paper. You remember the Trapper Keepers and stuff? That was a division of Mead paper for years and years. This is where Mead started in Dayton. It was the main offices and the mill here in Chillicothe. So, but yeah, I don't know exactly what kind of papers they're making now, but I still believe it's cardstock and then some coated and then carbonless. And they were running some other stuff. But they have a big pulp mill. And I think the pulp mill is the one thing that, if anything survives out of this, the pulp mill will probably survive, because in the United States, it's pretty difficult to start a new pulp mill from an EPA standpoint. There's lots of things, and since it's already here, that might save it. Yeah, Brett, man, that's sorry, I'm just catching up, but yeah, it's tough news. Hey, Michael Squire. Question: what are the best guides and tires for Scalextric track? Guides and tires for Scalextric track. Okay, I don't have Scaly track, but John Albright does, and I know that he runs rubber tires. And so he would be the best one. From a guide standpoint, I'm such a Slot Invasion fan, but every once in a while you might run into a Slot Invasion guide might be a little wide for your Scaly slot. I don't know if anybody could answer that question better than I. But I would say that, gosh, the NSR guides, I think, work pretty good. They're a little thinner. I would say the slotted guides work really well. I think there's lots of options, man. Yeah, George. Welcome, George. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was a rough news. I think the whole town found out the same time that the employees found out. They released a statement, press release, and yeah, John Mark is right. Hey, John Mark, thanks for being here, man. John Mark is right. John Mark used to work at the mill for years, and it impacts so many more than just employees at the mill. That's right. Yeah, it impacts the whole community. But you know what? We're resilient people, and we'll... That's right, Josh. I'm in trouble. Rob can comment now. Greg, Jerry's car is cool. Speaking of another cool car, Greg sent this one. If you're a Camaro fan, and it runs really well. Another one I need to record so I can get this back to you, Greg. But, yep, here's take a look at the chassis. Clearwater. Very cool car. Again, I need to time the laps, so I'll get there. On a cool note, congrats to Ohio boys Grizzly. That's right. First place, and well done. Yeah, Jerry did a great job with his car. Fantastic. It looks great. Like the livery, but runs really well. Set it right there so you can see it. What's causing that? Oh, it might be my screen. What else? Velocity Apex Slot Racing. Michael, welcome. Good to have you. Thanks for being here. Shotgun Dave. Yeah, Dave. Good work, man. Good work. It's good stuff. Hey, Brandon. Yeah, wow, we got a bunch of people in. 95 already. 47 likes and 1 thumbs down. Thanks to Area 51. Greg can tell you that it's been a journey. I'm glad I was able to be a part of it. Yeah, Josh, well done, man. Jim is doing well. Jim sent me the Miata. I've had a blast with that car from last week. I haven't had a ton of time to get some laps down here, but I have run some laps. I need to finish my video. Oh yeah, me too. Jim always does a great job reviewing cars. So yes, Scott, it is kind of sexy. That's the Challenger. It's a great car. Good evening, Robert. And we got Patrick. Hey Patrick, hopefully I didn't overstep my I'm ready to have a conversation anytime. Plus both tracks, the timer is down because Fast Laps is expired. Pistol Pete, thanks. I'd like to replicate that. Roast Coffee, the official coffee of Two Lines Tuesdays. Thanks, Steve. Yep, still rocking. Had roast coffee last night. Hey, David. Good to have you, man. Thanks for joining. Question about braid, magnetic or non-magnetic, adhesive, baked or no? So Brett, I did copper tape on my oval, and I will eventually put braid down, just for the experience of laying braid. If I did it, I would go non-magnetic, and then I would get it with the adhesive pre-applied, the 3M tape already applied to it. I think it will make the whole process a little faster, and the cost difference isn't so great. Patrick, you're the man. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. 59 watching. Looks like the thumbs down was an accident. If somebody wants the thumbs down, it's okay. It's okay. I just think it's funny when I see it because it's always, every video I do, I usually get 1 thumbs down. And it always makes me wonder, like, did somebody mean to do that? I try not to upset people, but every once in a while, I guess I do. Slot Car Racer. Slot Car Racer, you asked a question right at the end of the live stream last week. And off the top of my head, I can't remember what the question was, but I knew that you asked it. And I did answer it in the chat, I think. But if you're going to remember what that question was, please put it back in the chat so that we can discuss it. But I can't remember what it was. But happy to answer that question again. If I missed somebody, I apologize. Hey, Marty, go Buckeyes. Hey, to all the other slot heads out there. Hey, bro, man. Good to have you, man. Carvel, flying saucer, and ice water. Yeah, you'll work on your health too. Yeah, I think I talked a little bit about it last week. My doctor was getting on me. So, hey, Flash, good to have you, man. Thanks for being here. So, what else do we want to talk about tonight? One of the cars I don't think I ever shared with you guys that George sent me. George sent me the Hammer. Why do I know it's the Hammer? Because it says it's the Hammer. And this is the dirt car, and this has got the resin printed chassis on it, and this car flat out flies on the oval. And after I get the timing back up, we're gonna run some times because I think I think that it could possibly be right there with the fast lap challenge time. But great build. Love it. Number 22, the Hammer. Well done, George. That it's coming back to you in the box. Along with this one. And then Paul sent this in. I think I shared this once before. This car is fast. And I don't know, maybe we go over to the oval tonight and run a few laps. We'll see. Easy, I've got to go. Yeah, no worries, man. Enjoy. Tell Colt we said hey. Hey, Bruce. Good to have you. Hey, Rick. Thanks. God bless you, brother. Hey, Marty Ford in Indiana. Is this the Indiana that, or is this the Marty Ford that I know? Or is this another Marty Ford? Because I have a good friend, Marty Ford, that I went to church with for 13 years. And if that's you, man, you just had a birthday not too long ago. And I miss you. Hope you're doing well. If this is the new Marty Ford, it's nice to meet you. I'm not sure that there's many of us out there. Another Marty Ford. That's right. Well, it's funny, guys. I know a Marty Ford that that we played baseball against each other in high school. That was when we discovered that we had the same name. He played for a different high school, and we are the same age. We graduated the same year from high school. Rob, 10,000 steps to the Michigan 24. Hey, Oscar. Marty Ford times 2. That's right. Another Marty has entered the chat. 2 Marty Fords. The world's not ready for that. That's right. Two minds. Marty, welcome to the chat, man. Good to have you. Braid, either way, as long as you tune non-mag, too much magnetic downforce when running magnets can pull the braid up. Yeah. Thanks, John. I was going to mention that, and I think I got sidetracked. If you run magnets on magnetic braid, that can be a problem. I think it's one of the things that Electric Dreams was having problems pulling up their braid. There you go. Oh, Steve, what's up? Steve had a great Michigan 24. John is the evil twin. That's good stuff. What about the adhesive? Do you like the backed braid, or is it better to apply an aftermarket adhesive? I think the 3M adhesive that Slot Car Corner puts on the braid is really, really good. As long as you've got that recessed, you got that cleaned really well, yeah, you should not have problems with that adhesive. But that's right. Had a great time. Thanks, Weber. 2 Marty Fords can mess up the space-time continuum. Let's see, where's my flux capacitor? What else? Yes, David can. I am his Hoosier evil slot car twin. There you go. That's great. Marty, where are you at in Indiana? Are you around Indianapolis, or? If Rob can figure out how it works, absolutely. Same with Kurt. Well, Oliver just texted me. He must forget that I'm actually live on Tuesday. I was trying to bring him on tonight, but we're going to do a conversation on Friday. That's Oliver from Professor Motor. Yeah, James, happy Easter. Yeah, it's a busy week because of Easter. Our church has 3 services that I'll lead worship, and then we have a Good Friday service, and, Easter is just busy. The one thing is my kids aren't here. My wife is going to go visit them, but our youngest daughter is in her master's program. She has a bunch of projects due this weekend, and so she's not going to go out this weekend. She's going to go out the following weekend. So next week, at the weekend after Easter, she's going out to visit the kids. So that's the only thing. We always gather at Easter with the family, and that won't happen this year. So John had some solid coverage of the race too. Need to go watch my interview with him, where I was paying more attention to the race than the actual interview. There's a lot going on, Josh. Miss seeing what the cars were in the 24, just a blur. Yeah, John, like I said, Greg is going to do a breakdown of their car, the winning car, and that was one of the things that I was going to try to do is give everybody a good look at what people were racing. And I think John covered some of that in his coverage. So, Rob, green to checker, man. Yep, that's right. That's right. So, hey, Brad. Brad, I love this channel, tuning in from Colorado. Brad, where are you at in Colorado? If anyone's in the area, I would love to meet new friends to share on the track with. So, Brad, there are people. Brandon is out in Durango, I think. There are some other guys that are in the chat. There's another guy from Fort Collins that tunes in every once in a while, and that's where my kids are in Colorado. There's somebody in Loveland. So we do have some Colorado folks in the chat most weeks. So hopefully you can find some people close to you. That's right, Greg. You guys hauled home the trophy. Contact cement applied to both the wood and the braid will result in a strong bond. Tape will work, but for good adhesion, the surface must be free of any debris. Yep. It's got to be clean. I thought I really cleaned my wood track, and I have some places where the copper tape wants to come up every once in a while. That get less and less over time, but I would come home and go down, and I would have some places that would pull up, and I would just press them down and varnish it real good, and they would usually stay. But you think you got it clean. I would use something to clean it, alcohol or something that evaporates really easy. But yeah, Brett, man, I recommend it. My oval is a lot of fun. We really do enjoy running cars on it. It's a lot of fun, and it's fun running on a wood track. Not gonna lie, as much as I love my plastic track, I would love to have a wood track. But just so you guys know, I'm probably this track. The layout's probably going to go this week. Got some plans for the table. Daryl gave me a gigantic box of Carrera Go, so I think I'm making the switch to Carrera Go. Sorry. I try to keep a straight face. But I am going to build a little Carrera Go track out of what Daryl sent me, and we're going to play around with some 1/43rd scale cars and see it. So I can do a review. I've never messed around with 1/43rd scale very much. I haven't messed around with Carrera Go, and there's a lot of people that have questions about Carrera Go. A lot of people are on Carrera Go, and so I'm going to do a review. That might actually be this week's video if I find some time between now and Easter. But it could end up being the following week's project. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm not tearing down this track. John D, 2 Scale Auto Porsche 963s, a Scale Auto Peugeot, Scale Auto Viper, and 2 NSR Moslers. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, you do, Greg. Thanks, Greg. So I have to do a shout out for John. I've seen the plan to his wood track that he's wanting to build, and it's going to be a great layout. I really like it. He sent it to me probably over a year ago, so I know he's been planning on that wood track for a long time. But I'm excited to watch that build. Daryl did not race in the 24 hour. The little one is down now. That's great. Hopefully feeling better. And Greg, ones you don't want anymore. That's right. Yeah. If he lets me drive a car, I know that it's like, it's going to get broken. Yeah, I'm sure that he will post on Home Racing World in the forums or on the Facebook when he does get to that. Yep. Thanks, Vin. I'm not fast enough to run with those guys. Neither am I, Daryl. Neither am I. Hey, Richard. Good morning. The kids need all the leadership they can get. Yeah, thanks, Rick. So, Vin, Patrick's in the chat. I don't think he has fuel management for analog yet, because he's been working on the back end stuff. But he's getting really close to fast laps, and I'll let him talk about that. But it's getting really close. I'm excited for it. Yeah, it's, thanks, John. That means a lot. It was tough because I really wanted to be in the Michigan 24, even though I was just going to drive up. I was going to leave about 4 a.m. on Saturday morning and drive up and get there right before they start, and then hang out all day and then drive back because I still had to lead worship at church on Sunday, so I couldn't stay up there the whole time. Next year, I'll just take that whole weekend off, and I'll get somebody to cover for me for worship and be able to spend the whole time up there. John, sorry guys, I had 2 microphone system, and for some reason, one thing was not working on both. So you didn't get all the audio for interviews. Yeah. Hey, it happens, man. Quick slick silicones, and you can use slotted guides with spacers. So that must be a recommendation for the Scaly track. Slotting Plus guides work excellent on Scalextric tracks. Yes. I'd forgotten about those guides. Those guides do, they're a real thin guide, but they're a good guide. Daryl likes to use them on his cars. I have a handful of them on my cars. And those, I do know that those work really well in that thinner slot. There you go. Slotting Plus, Michael. Man, I'm way behind on the chat, guys. I worked there for a little while during one of my layoffs. Yeah, I know, Dust. I remember when you worked there. It's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw the announcement this morning. Daryl, ask Marty, the only thing I'm good for is taking out the other teams in the corners by wrecking. Daryl's gift is self-deprecation. He and I don't fall far from the tree. It's tough getting live video to work the way you want. So my hat's off to the YouTubers. Live can be challenging. Greg did an awesome job with the live stream. It really worked well. Firebird. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Dusty. You're right. I said Camaro, but it's a Firebird. Sorry about that, Greg. It is a Firebird. Thanks, Michael. I was thinking Camaro, that they just, this is the Challenger. They just did the Camaro, and now they've announced the Mustang, which is going to be awesome for those guys who like the Mustangs. Sorry, Greg. Bad on me. It is a Firebird. My bad. Oh, here we go, Patrick. I've had several requests for fuel and pit stops for analog. I've added it to my list of features to build, so hopefully we'll get to that soon. Just have to prioritize all the new features on the list. Yeah. Yeah, but you've got a lot of features that have been requested, which means you're getting good feedback from people, and that's great. HSF, welcome. Speaking of HSF, I got in the mail today from Brad. Thanks, Brad. And I have a feeling I know what this is. So this is an unboxing of an envelope. And cool, we got a nice, man, Brad, thanks, bro, appreciate it. Very nice. Brad sent me a bunch of stickers. He sent me the HSF racing stickers, so that will go on the pit box with the rest of the stickers. But this is the one. I have to laugh because, Brad, like that's what we run on our track. So that's great. Silicone is for boobies. So thanks, man. That's awesome. I appreciate it. What else do I have? I feel like I haven't really talked about a whole lot. This is not my box, but this is John Mark's box. But this came this week. Some of you probably already know what this is, because if you know John Mark, how sweet is that? My gosh. All right, Jerry's working on his jalopy. Fantastic. Many others work quite well. Too deep, too thick, sanding and shaping are your friends. There you go. Yeah, Greg, I saw your Sunbeam Tiger model kit on one of your videos. I've always loved the Sunbeam. They reminded me of like 289 Cobras. Very similar in look. So, yeah, how great is that livery? Now, there'll be some people that say, they're overdoing the Golf livery. And I say, never. The Golf livery is just, it's like perfect. But that is an awesome 908. I even like the one with the 2 arrows too. But John Mark now officially has a 908. And that car's awesome. So I don't know if anybody else picked this up. They started shipping there last week. And yeah, that's sweet. That's his car. I'm not getting that out of the box. Good stuff. Trying to find decals for the Tiger. Not much luck. Yeah, that might be tough. If you go magnetic brake with some special motors, even non-mag races, and get unfair advantage. Yeah. I think that's why Electric Dreams went away from it. Yeah, Dusty's building the same vet. Guys, man, I'm really... That's a scary thought, isn't it, Rob? they'll never be the same. It reminds me of Jack Black in School of Rock, and he's having the parent-teacher conference with all the parents, and they're complaining. And he said, "I know I've touched your kids, and they've touched me," and all the parents are all... That's one of the best. That's my favorite. Hey, Dan. Yeah, that's John Mark. I was thinking his name, the Marty Ford in Georgia, is actually Marty Fordham. Fordham, and he cut the ham off, and he has the Marty Ford Band. And they are not a worship band. And I got an email from a girl that was confused when she looked me up and found out I was a worship leader, but had said that she had been, she was confused. She had the wrong Marty Ford. It's quite funny. The band, we got a big laugh out of that. Good stuff. Thanks for bringing that up, John Murray. Hank, any word on the C1? So that was one of the things I wanted to talk about. So late last week, was it Friday, I think? MR Slot Car started releasing pictures of the new cars that race against the C1 and offering a pre-order. And I don't know, there's 4-5 different cars that they announced that they were it was kind of odd that MR Slot Car, they hadn't had a post on their Facebook page in since January of 24. So well over a year. I mean, we're looking at, 12, 15, 16 months. And then they posted like 4 or 5 pre-order announcements for the additional cars that they're releasing with the liveries. And I thought the pictures were great. They were all prototypes talking about a pre-order. And I looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't find a link to go pre-order. They weren't on the MR Slot Car page. And if somebody from MR Slot Car is in the chat, please let us know. Has anybody been able to find a link to that? I know Peter kept asking, how do I pre-order? And I've got Slot Car Corners page up, pre-orders, MR Slot Car. Do they have the new pre-orders up? They don't. And then if I go to LEB, 1/32 pre-orders, MR Slot Car. They only have the C1 and the white kits. So based on I don't know. Electric Dreams, maybe. Slot Cars shop. Do they have a pre-order? I don't see it. Slot Cars. MR Slot Car. Classic. I'm just looking through their website. Oh, I realize I don't have it up. Sorry, guys. Yeah, the C1 is the only thing. So I cannot find. Let me go to MR Slot Cars page. I go to MR Slot Cars page, and there's no place to pre-order this car. So has anybody found that? Marty said, what church? Independent Christian. Mine was around Southeast Indiana. Don't think it's me. I'm a new one now in B-Town area for many years. Cool. Yeah, man, thanks. I appreciate that, Marty. Saw someone with my name racing against GT40 cars, real ones, on YouTube last night. The field cost likely over $100 million. John, that's crazy. That is crazy. The 3M braid from Slot Car Corner with the adhesive works excellent. Yeah, I agree. And Broman, he agrees as well. Yeah, get everything from Slot Car Corner. They carry all the track stuff. It's a great place. I did some pit box videos. Yeah, John, yeah, those are good. The professor himself. Can anyone recommend a video on DIY track building? I found myself very old ones, but they don't go over any of the specs for it. The professor himself. I have a 2-part track building video. George at Area 51 has a track building video when he built his oval. Harry Wise has a video, and those are all really current, relatively current videos. So they're out there. If you wood slot car track building, you can find it. And then Home Racing World has a whole forum around track building. So George just sent me a link. And it says, coming soon, pre-orders are now open for the latest upcoming releases. I went to MR Slot Cars website, man, and I can't find them. Chrome, Safari, models. They are not coming soon. No products in the coming soon. Yeah, George, thanks for sending me that link, but that post, but there's no cars for pre-order out there. Is that a thing in the U.S.? Record bun sales hits the news here. John, that's yeah, I'm not sure. We're not in the U.S. We're not talking about buns selling out. Daryl, how are you? Missed a chance to race with you at Cincy next year or another time, another place, hopefully. Question: where are you at in Colorado, Brad? There you go. Unusual, the 24 ran both brushless and conventional motors, it seems. Did the brushless have a big advantage? John, I will let somebody else speak to that. I don't know that it had a huge advantage from a speed standpoint, but they did not have motor problems. That motor ran great for 24 hours, and I think that was the advantage. The conventional motors, most of the time, they won't make it. Some will, but it's kind of a crapshoot, I think. And I just think that the longevity of the brushless probably wins out there. But John, half the teams ran brushless and half didn't. Pretty much every team running a brushed motor had at least one motor blow on them this year. Wow. There you go. Kurt just texted me. NorCal, John Albright, build it. We will come. There you go. You could, Jim. You could go to. You're not that far from him. Late Ben building a TA2 Challenger. Nice, 3-bean. That's cool. That's cool. Brushless seems to be the future for endurance racing, perhaps. Yeah, I think so. Again, I'm not sure that there was a bunch of speed to be had from the brushless. Not that they weren't fast, but it definitely, from a longevity standpoint and endurance, it's probably the way to go for endurance racing, especially 124 scale. But with velocity slots adapter, it's super easy to install. A brushless, I think that they've got the right setup for 130 seconds. Okay, I've got like 12 conversations going on. I need to focus. I run 143rd at home. Yeah, Bruce, that's cool. I'm going to set up the Carrera Go track and have some fun. I'm not taking the magnets out yet. That's all right. I think the 143rd scale, run the magnets. I think it'll be fun. I think with us winning the brushless motor, absolutely. I saw a lot of interest from a couple of the teams that ran brushed motors this year. And, I think that, Josh, you're right. I think that, people saw the value in the motor this year, probably a little more than last year. It was fast last year, but it really proved itself of being just stable and consistent, and that was good. Yeah, Jerry, I agree. The Mustang looks great. George's live stream, I didn't get to catch it until after work, but I watched it, and yeah, he's got it running great, and it looks good. So John wants to know, what was the winning car? It was a Scale Auto Peugeot, the LMP hypercar. I'm going to use slot invasion guides in my next couple of builds just to try something different. Cars I have with those guides run well. Yeah, Oscar makes a great guide. I use the slot invasion guides on all kinds of stuff. They're really my favorite. Hey, Gary. Good to have you. That's pretty good, isn't it, Dan? Yeah, HSF, thanks. Dusty, you have one. HSF sent a couple stickers, so I've got one for you. I'll share. Daniel, I want that sticker. Well, I don't know how many you sent. He sent 3. I have 3 of those stickers. Oh, Brad, I have enough. I have enough to get him. Mark just got the same 908. That's a sweet car, Mark. Mark, do you have a 908 in another livery? If you don't, I'm just going to put it out there. You will love that car. My 908s are some of my favorite cars to drive. They are really, really good. Yeah, Vin, you can never get enough golf. Yes, Chris, I agree. So really the only way you could get the non-fin 908 was to get a white kit, but they released that with no fins, which I love it. Yeah, John, I think they were having problems with the braid coming up, and when they made the decision to go the non-electric, they were just eliminating downforce and having to worry about that as a part of their rules and things. So I agree. You're right. Loving the 908. They tune up very nicely. Yeah, Chris, they're such good cars. I love the Martini livery when it's in a glass. My wife has started saying, "Not another blue car." That's funny, Chris. Typed my Electric Dreams comment just before Marty agreed. So seems definitely a reason to go non-mag braid. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think very few tracks that I know of have wood tracks that have magnet braid. Shaken, not stirred. Hey, Dungeon Racer. Just sent you a pic of the winning team in a text. Oh, thanks, Dickie. Oh yeah, very nice. Yep, that's a good picture. Thanks, Dickie. So it will be 2027 before other cars get here. Then, what did I talk about? Oh well, based on the delay of the C1, yeah, I would say that the C1 is like any day now. That would be my guess. But with all the tariff stuff, I don't know what's happening with that. We kind of heard a rumor. Chris mentioned that he had talked to Steve at Slot Car Corner about the DS controller, and they're like the price they're hearing. I mean that controller was $189 when I bought it, and they think that it might come back this next round might be $400, and that's because of shortage and supply and the demand for it. So Scale Auto seizes an opportunity, right? And then add potential, if that's coming out of China, add the potential tariff on top of that. So they will have to make a decision. Do they even want to import them because of the cost? So that DS controller could get tough. They posted on Facebook, coming soon, pre-orders. Yeah, I know, but we still haven't really heard a date for the C1. And then now they're pre-ordering the rest of the other cars for that group of cars, but really don't see we don't see a link. Can't find them. It's on the Facebook page. Sorry, I'm still so far behind. Facebook. No, I saw the posts on Facebook, right? But like MR Slot Car Inc. Following. So coming soon, pre-orders are now open for the latest upcoming releases. And then if you look in all the comments, everybody's asking, how do I order? Where do I order? How do I order? Peter is commented on every car. How do I order? And then people, let me throw it over here so you guys can see it. This is funny. Browser. Are you seeing that? All right. So yeah, there you go. How do you order? How do you order? How do you order? Limited quantities, but there are no links to where you can pre-order. And everybody wants to know where the pre-order is. But great looking cars, man. That livery is great. The gold livery is going to be super popular. The 250 SWB, that's a great looking car. Really like the looks of that. I mean, yeah, there's going to be great options, and this is even a pre-order. The 333. So, guys, I don't know what to say, but I mean, that's those are cool, but I don't know where you. Yeah, John, the pre-orders like payphones, nowhere to be found. Yeah, they announced all those. John, you and I talked about it. I just thought it was kind of weird that they announced all this and no one really knows anything about it. So hopefully we get some news soon, because I think they're going to be popular cars. I can't wait to get the C1 and get it on the track. I'm really curious about how it's going to run, because I had the prototype, but you couldn't run the prototype. And I think the guys in England, when it got sent over there, they actually put braid on it, and they actually ran it. They weren't supposed to, I don't think, but Jerry, did anyone see the priceless that was wrecked at Goodwood? Oh no, that makes me sick when some of those $1 million classic cars that nobody should be driving on a track get destroyed. Robert, no texting while hosting. Sorry about that. Can I pre-order a Tesla? It's a little late for April Fool's gag, yeah. Yeah, I didn't see the crash either. I'll have to go look it up. You need the vandalized decals. In a race where the newest car was 108 years old, 28-liter four-cylinder. That's wild. Hey, DJ Patrick, what's up? There's a video that shows how to set up the lap counter with parts you get. Is there a video that shows how to set up the lap counter with the parts you have to get? I have a video about my lap counter I built, and I talk about the parts list are in my Amazon list. And so the sensors that I used, the IR brake sensors is what I recommend now. The guide flag sensors had too many issues, but we've pretty much resolved the lap counting issues with the new one. Patrick, any questions I can answer offline, just send me a message. I'm happy to answer them. But yeah, I've got a video out there that shows you pretty much everything you need to install that. If you just go to my YouTube channel and go to my videos, it's probably about 20 videos back, 25 videos back. Hey Larry, where can I find the results of the 24 race? I've not been able to find the posted results yet. They would be at Cloverleaf, probably in Home Racing World. Larry, how's racing going up at the cave? I'd love to get up there and come race again. If you have to swap out a motor in the 24, you're done. Yeah, Kurt, I think you're right, and I think that brushless is the one way you can not guarantee it, but you have a lot of confidence in that motor's going to make it for 24 hours. But that's a great. Hey Warren, just finished racing. Yeah, glad you got to race. Warren, how's your track coming? I know that you were working on maybe a 6-lane track. I was curious to know how that was coming. Most dealers are holding off on buying stuff as the tariffs are high now, but may change if they ever negotiate. Makes sense to wait to see if the market stabilizes without overpaying for product. I agree, George, 100%. Yeah, Steve is talking about the Lola in the pink pig livery that David did. That's a great looking car. Doug, hey Marty, I'm late. I'll watch later. I just picked up the 9083 Sunoco. Nice. Yeah, man. Yeah, just happy to help. Doug, just send me a message. Yeah, I think we all are. Like, I guess the concern is how does it impact the hobby overall? So we'll see. We'll see it play out. coming in 2030. That's right. NorCal Racing had good coverage of the MR cars, but not the ordering. Yeah, I mean, I get maybe they're trying to work with the dealers, and dealers are probably, the C1 hasn't shown up yet, so they're probably a little hesitant. So, Dickie says the race results should be posted on the Home Racing World in the next few days. There you go. Thanks, Dickie. Appreciate it. The C1 ran against the 250 GTOs, Studebaker Speedsters, the T-Birds, 300Cs, E-Types. Yeah, the only NSR that I have on pre-order is a liveried Lola. You're super late. That's all right, man. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. Haven't really talked about a darn thing, except for slot cars, I guess, answering questions. Final cost on pre-orders may be higher than stated. Marco at Electric Dreams, they do prepay on pre-orders, says they may have to add a surcharge if the cost is higher when delivered. Yeah, I think that's why you don't charge. I mean, Slot Car Corner, LEB, you pay a penny to pre-order, and then they send you the invoice when the cars come in, and then you pay the invoice. I think that's a great way to do it. So then if they needed to adjust the price, they would be able to do it then. When you pay up front, I'm not sure that's really fair to ask people to do. But I'm not running a slot car business, so I understand it. But a lot of people pre-ordered that C1 months ago. And then John waited 3 years for the Chaparral. I know a bunch of people did. So I get it. It'll eventually get here, guys. But yeah, Mark, you're right. We could see an adjustment. Hey, Three Rooms. Good to have you, man. Thanks for being here. So I'll have to back and rewatch this one. What did I miss? You didn't really miss much. We talked about the Michigan 24 and celebrated those guys. I talked about some of the cars that I've gotten, the people have sent me. The Firebird, I called it a Camaro, so I got called out for that. Rightfully so. The Hammer from George. And then Jerry sent the Modified. Runs great. And then Paul sent the Corvette, which I've had for a little bit. I got to get these cars back to people. But they have been fun to race. Hopefully I don't miss anybody's questions. Been waiting on the PHN1 restock, but maybe not with that price tag. Yeah, now that was just a rumor. Like, I think Steve was just like trying to prepare people that there's probably going to be a price increase with this next batch of DS controllers, and they don't really know what it is. They've heard some things, and that's probably worst case scenario. I would say that they're probably not that expensive when they come in, but I would expect some kind of price increase on them. That'd be my guess. But I will say it's a good controller. I really like mine, especially with the Velocity slot racing parts 2-finger adapter. So with all the tariff BS, now is a great time to revisit those old tunes. Yeah, that's what Dave Kennedy was saying too, John, is just pull those cars out that you've not touched. Parts are still plentiful right now and resellers here in the U.S., and you won't be paying tariff increases on most of that stuff. You shouldn't, because they've already paid for that. So that's exciting. Find some parts and build some cars. I think that's the beauty of what Dave and George and Harry are doing with these 3D printed cars. You're not going to have that, right? So that's an advantage. Order one of those kits when they have them available. It's a great build right now, especially with the unknown. Yeah, the Pink Panther Shotguns Challenger is awesome. Okay, so I got a Scale Auto Caddy. Is that it is loose as a goose. How I calm that sucker down on a wood track. Auto enthusiast. Bud Slots is your guy when it comes to tuning. And Steve, tuning those LMPs, they are a little tricky. I feel like mine it's because they've got a lot of power. That motor, the Scale Auto motor, which I have laying right here, it is a 22.5 motor, but it has got crap ton of torque, and it's a really, really fast motor. So what else? All cars come from China with the exception of NSR, and they are from Italy. When Greg releases the teardown video of the Peugeot, you can do similar tuning techniques to the Cadillac, even with a brushed motor. Yeah, Josh, that's a great point. So I will repost Greg's video. I'll post a link out there on my channel so people can go find it if you're not already following Greg. So when he does that breakdown video, I think that all of us will be sitting there watching that with our Scale Auto cars. Because I still don't have mine running great. It runs good. It's just on my plastic track, it's a handful. So, yeah, Chris, you've got a great controller. There is no need to get the DS. I needed an extra controller, and so I did not want to buy another DeFalco unless that was my only option. And I picked up the DS because it would give me something different, right? So, but yeah, you cannot go wrong with the DeFalco. But I'm impressed with the DS. Josh is giving some tips. Generally, weight, though, around the pod area. Tires are huge, too. Not sure what tires you're running, so I can't give you a great recommendation on that. I have 3 DeFalcos. 2 are 124 and then 1 DD301. I really want to try the traction control. Yeah, the traction control is nice. I won't lie. I use it, kind of fine-tune it, and it does really calm a car down coming out of a turn. It is an advantage. I know a lot of people don't have it, don't feel like they need it. They can do that with their fingers, and that's great. But if you have it, it is a nice feature. It really is. Joe, manufacturers need to see pre-orders so they can judge how many cars to order from the factory. If it's a hot item, then they can bring down the cost. Pre-orders help judge those decisions. Oh, I'm not complaining about the pre-orders. Not complaining at all. I think it's a great idea for that very reason. I just can't find the pre-orders for the new MR slot cars. That's my thing. Hey, through. Good to have it. Good. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Is the magnet still in the Cadillac? The Scale Auto 963 is even looser. Send the Firebird onto someone else to run, Marty. Okay. We can do that. We can pass it down the line. Hanola, I pre-ordered the slot Classics Chrysler. Anyone have experience with their cars? Hanola, I don't. I'm not had a slot classic. Hey, Jamal. Good evening, man. Thanks for tuning in. Scale Racer. Hi, Marty. Curious about how many classes East Coast clubs run in one day. That was your question from last week, Scale Car Racer. Thank you for asking that. I'm getting closer to the bottom, catching up. So I've been behind in the chat all night. Usually I've caught the end by now. Gosh, 110 people, 84 likes. Guys, thanks so much. Let's answer this question. So we run 2 classes at Cincy Slots. We run an analog class and a digital class, but then twice a season we do 2 analog classes. But I have a feeling that's probably not going to happen next year, that they'll stay with the analog and digital class. Now, depending on how many people you have racing, excuse me, I know that at like out in California, those guys will run 3 or 4 classes just because of the numbers that they have, and they'll use a whole day. 2 classes at Dayton at the hobby shop. I know on Wednesday nights they run 2 classes. At the Cave, we ran 2 classes. We ran a vintage and a GT. So I think a lot of clubs probably run 2 classes if they have a decent number of racers. If they only have a handful of racers, they might run more classes. But I'm going to say 2 is probably the average, maybe 3 if you're short on guys running. When I hosted the race here, we ran 2. I really wasn't set up to run a race yet when I did that, but we ran 2 classes here. We ran GT and vintage, or maybe it was Revo Group 2 and GT. Maybe that's what it was, I think. So we would run 2 or maybe 3, depending on how long of a day we want to go. So hopefully that answers your question. But that's kind of what I'm seeing when I do my research. Penny pre-order deposit could cause problems for a dealer if too many pre-order people pull out. Yeah, John, I get it. Slot cars are not cheap, but you know, if I pre-order something that's $90 and then the dealer has my $90, and what if that car never comes to fruition? Which is, I think, the way people are feeling about the C1. I think they're getting a little nervous about the C1 because the pre-order was quite a while ago, and then we haven't really got great updates on when it's coming, no firm delivery dates. So I think that creates some anxiousness and like, okay, am I going to get a refund? If they refund the money, it's not a big deal, but then they held however many pre-order the money for how many pre-orders. So I get understanding that with a penny, there's no commitment to that, and people could back out. But if somebody pre-orders a car, I guess that's just me. I wouldn't. I couldn't imagine backing out of something I committed to. So, but I know that people do. So it's a fair statement. I'm not arguing with you. I think you're right. But I appreciate what LEB does and Slot Car Corner does with their pre-orders. But there are dealers out there that go to, like Bruce. He doesn't pre-order cars. He doesn't do pre-orders. He'll just order them, and he just doesn't order them in mass quantities. And so, kind of first come, first serve. Order your 3A 3D kit now, and you don't have to worry about any tariffs. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Scale Auto hypercars are setting track records on almost all of our tracks. Tuned, non-mag with stock motor. Yeah. I think just getting it's a lot to tune, Jim. I feel like there's, you got suspension that a lot of people aren't used to trying to tune that come on those hypercars. And that chassis has got a lot of adjustment. So I think getting it dialed in is kind of tricky. Lots of torque for sure. I bought a slower network for my DD301. It helps, but good God, this thing will not stay in the slot no matter how much weight I put in it. Yeah, you probably have to run a lot of brake too. 0 weight on your 963. So if you're running rubber tires, right? First things first, if you are running with the suspension, you might try the stiff springs with minimal travel. I'm in the same boat with my 963. It's okay, but I have a lot of tuning to do to control it in the corner. Yeah. Call Massimo for MR pre-orders. You didn't hear that from me. Thanks, Joe. Seriously. The C1 is a unicorn. Many people have seen it, but nobody has one. They've seen the prototype, Daryl. And the prototype looks great, but it wasn't drivable. Or Raul. Always. too funny. Or a guy named Joe. Yeah, Michael, I'm patiently waiting too. It'll get here. I'm sure if it's sitting at a port someplace, they might be trying to decide how they're going to pay for it. Scale rate. Are you racing with us now? There you go. That would be good. You've got a great race scene out there in California. George, Warren might have something to do with that. Okay, I need to shut up now. That's good. Didn't Carrera do a C1 a while back in 124? I think so. The rest is going to be tires, weight, and adjustments. Check Electric Dreams YouTube video, Todd's race-winning car. Yeah, that's a good video. Thanks, John. I'd forgotten about that Todd did that. Or Todd's car. They broke that down. Personally, you're waiting for the Lotus. Is the Ninko early Corvette a C1 as well? A 2-headlight version? Yeah, John, I think Ninko made one. I backed out on my NSR Repsol C8. Didn't match the prototype livery. Actually, the actual one was ugly. Yeah, Dusty, that would be, I don't fault you for that. They made a big change in the livery. I don't mind the livery that it delivered in, but it's not what the prototype, what they were selling. And it probably came down to cost, trying to keep the cost down. On our wood tracks, we take the suspension out. Good to know. Suspension is for uneven surfaces like a wavy plastic track. Very good. Thanks, George. Dusty, I wish I had as well on the Repsol C8. It is ugly. But Hank, it's a good car. It runs fast. And at speed, you really can't see that livery. Europeans run a lot of plastic, so they use it there. Yeah, there's a lot of Ninko track. That is where they saying a slow boat from China comes from. Exactly. John, I saw the ED video, tried it, running silicones, and it's still stupid fishtailing. Yeah, audio enthusiast. If you go to my channel description, I have my email address there. Send me an email, and I will get you in contact with Greg. And when he releases his breakdown video, I'll make sure I send that link to you. And that will be a big help, I think, because I'm waiting for that too. There you go, John. We'll send the C1s there. Very good. Yes, so you are racing with them. Great. That's awesome. Guys, somehow I made it to the end. It's 9:38. We're a few minutes over. I'm not sure we covered anything, but we all know, thanks to Brad, that silicone is for boobies. And a lot of Midwest tracks. We run a lot of silicone around here in Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky. Anyway, guys, this has been great. I'm going to sign off here shortly, I think. If there's no more questions, this has been a good night. Let's hope that we get good news about the C1 sometime soon and the link for the MR slot car pre-orders, because I think there's a lot of guys that would want to pre-order those. So hopefully they get that fixed. My guess is they're still trying to work out the details, and you'll probably see Electric Dreams be the first one to release the pre-order for that. And then once they do, maybe they'll have everything worked out. So I do know that there was some issues when it came to that. So my guess is they've got cars coming and they're worried that they won't be able to sell them. So that's why they're announcing them. But I think it was great to see these cars in new liveries. That's going to be great. So guys, get it there and run some laps, have some fun on your track. And thanks for tuning in this week. This has been great. I really appreciate all of you who show up week after week. We have 94 people watching and 92 likes. That's amazing. Every week it blows my mind. But guys, this has been great. Thanks for tuning in, and go have some fun racing. Yeah, and get your orders in. If you're looking for a new car, fun to try, order one of those. Help those guys out, George and Dave and Harry. They've worked really hard on those cars. That's why I've done a couple videos on them, because they keep sending me cars to try, and I'm just having a blast with them. So, guys, thanks, man. Have a good night, and go have some fun racing.